She is popularly known as Kishori ji and Meera of the modern era. I'm sure that you'll find a lot of video clips all over the social media, and she is really a star, as we all know her. I welcome her once again, and I would request CA Amar Agarwala to kindly come forward and offer a flower bouquet. To Jaya Kishori. May I request all of you to please put your hands together once again to welcome her. Thank you, Jaya Kishori. Thank you for being amongst us. You are aware that this is a forum wherein the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is organizing a international conference for CA students. Apart from the members and students who are present in this hall, there are over 6,000 participants watching us all across the globe. So the stage is all yours. Thank you very much once again.
Hello. Hello, good morning, namaste. So I think you know about me. I'm Jaya Kishori, a spiritual orator. I think in normal statement, I would say a storyteller, but the story mostly is spiritual stories with lessons. So I think some of you know me. Yeah? Thank you so much. And I would like to thank the members and the students of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and the host of this conference, EIRC and ICASA. Thank you so much for inviting me for this session. And I don't think speakers like us, as you said, sir, I don't think हमें बुलाना चाहिए था. The students are such great speakers. I think they can motivate everybody. They were such amazing speakers. Itna confidence in everything. So, but thank you for calling me. And my topic is spiritual auditing. Firstly, I would like to start with an example about the pandemic. When this disease started spreading, I don't think many of us knew what to do, what kind of precautions to take, क्या खाना है, क्या करना है, कैसे रहना है, किसी को कुछ पता नहीं था. But then धीरे धीरे, after I think maybe 1 year later, the vaccines were invented and the government started injecting the citizens. But even after that, people were scared because of this COVID. And then the doctors started putting the emphasis on the immunity. Ki rather than finding the solutions outside, make your immunity so strong that no matter how strong the virus is outside, it won't trouble you. So here a leaf has been taken out from the book of spirituality. Because I think many of us have different misconceptions about spirituality. Some of us think spirituality is just being religious or following religious practices or following some traditions. But no, spirituality is much more than that, much deeper than that. Spirituality is like that immune system. If you're strong from inside, no matter what kind of viruses roam around you, and that virus could be people, obstacles, wrong situations, for you guys, attempts, failures. So no matter what kind of virus is there outside, this is strong. This is strong. They won't trouble you. So you don't need any kind of, vaccine or anything if you have spirituality in your life. So spirituality is an inside job. If you want to face failures, rejections, obstacles, wrong situations, and stand in front of them with utmost ease, you need spirituality in your life. That is for sure. And that is from my experience, because maybe for a short period, not as a CA, but मैं खुद एक कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट रह चुकी हूँ. So I know how tough it is. But, वो छोटी सी चीज़ में भी I think spirituality helped me a lot, because I was studying that as well as my work too. But handling both of things, balancing both of them was easy for me because I was spiritual from the start. This is also one thing, because I think people have misconceptions spirituality is for after 50s and 60s. I have seen people talking about अभी कहाँ से, अभी उम्र ही क्या है. तो फिर कब, जब सब काम खत्म हो जाएगा, स्ट्रगल खत्म हो जाएगा, रिटायरमेंट का टाइम होगा, तब लेकर करोगे क्या? Spirituality is for making you strong to face difficult situations. जब situations ही difficult नहीं बचा, then what is the use of having that spirituality in you? So it is for the young people, And I'll just add one thing. I don't think CAs need more spirituality, because I think you guys are spiritual. The kind of work you do, it is like spirituality. एक तप है, एक तपस्या है. I always say this कि CA सिर्फ CA नहीं बनता, एक गहना बनता है. पर गहने को बनने के लिए सोने को तपाना पड़ता है. उसके बाद it is priceless. It is expensive. It is amazing. It is beautiful. We know that, right? Jewelry shop में जाके like, oh. But for that, you have to struggle. So I think the kind of struggle you guys face, आप आधे spiritual ऐसे ही हो चुके हैं. तो फिर दूसरी चीज क्या है? आप अगर थोड़े spiritual बन ही चुके हैं, but फिर भी you have to follow the path of spirituality, or maybe I should say the next word, auditing. I don't think I need to explain the word to you guys. It is your bread and butter term. You know this. But in a general statement, very general statement, auditing is a perpetual process of checks and measures that you guys do in regular intervals, right? बाहर की auditing तो सब कर लेते हैं. थोड़ी दिक्कत होती है जब खुद की ऑडिटिंग की बात आती है. मे बी होता नहीं, और nobody wants to do it. कभी सोचा ही नहीं कि करने की जरूरत है. बट आई थिंक वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट ऑडिटिंग है. वी आर रेडी टू ऑडिट अदर्स, बट वी आर नॉट रेडी टू ऑडिट आवरसेल्व्स. आई थिंक आई विल जस्ट टेक वन दोहा फ्रॉम कबीर दास जी. It says, बुरा जो देखन मैं चला, बुरा ना मिलिया कोई, जो तिल खोजा आपनो, मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. I think you guys have heard this. Yes. This particularly does not mean about finding faults. A deeper meaning says, we are always finding things outside, in external objects, whether it's faults, whether it's good things. आई थिंक सबको दूसरों में अच्छाइयाँ दिखती है कभी कभी. नहीं, उसका तो पेपर निकल जाएगा, अरे वो तो बहुत है, मेरे ही दिक्कत है, मुझसे ही नहीं होगा. वाई? सो हर चीज दूसरों में, अच्छाई भी, बुराई भी, स्ट्रेंथ भी, वीकनेसेस भी, हर चीज दूसरों की देख रहे हैं. पर जरूरत किसकी है देखने की? खुद की. दिस इज ऑडिटिंग. तो ये दोनों वर्ड्स जब मिलते हैं, स्पिरिचुअल ऑडिटिंग, इट मीन्स यू हैव to audit yourselves in regular intervals, whether the spiritual aspects वो है कि नहीं life में. I will discuss about the aspects कि क्या क्या होना चाहिए, but that does not mean कि एक बार है so you'll stop that कि हाँ है, now we don't care. No, you have to care in regular intervals, because normal auditing वो late हो सकती है. You know, sometimes you can get a bit late, but spiritual auditing you cannot miss it, because if you miss it you will follow the wrong path. So it's necessary to understand that spiritual auditing is way more necessary than normal auditing. Only then you'll be able to do that normal auditing. So I will discuss, I think, some aspects of spiritual auditing, or maybe spiritual aspects. Okay, what kind of aspects you have, you should have, so that you will understand that we are spiritual. We are following the spiritual path. We are following the spiritual auditing path. So let us understand. Number one is flexibility. A spiritual person cannot be rigid. That I can't do this. You have to be flexible. Not like this, but in your work, in your behavior, in your patterns, in your routine, in your manners, you have to be flexible. You cannot be rigid. कि अरे मुझसे नहीं होगा, 2-3 attempts हो गए, इससे ज़्यादा मुझसे नहीं हो सकता. This is not my cup of tea. I can't do this. I have done enough. You can never do enough. Sky is the limit. Why do we say that? Because you can never do enough. You have to keep working. ये नहीं तो वो नहीं तो ये नहीं तो ये, कोई ना कोई रास्ता तो निकलेगा, कोई दूसरा वे होगा. So you have to be flexible. You cannot be rigid that I cannot do this. This is my limit. No, you don't have limit. You have to cross that. I don't have any limit. I create my own limit. Nobody else creates that. You know, you create your own limits. I will see the kind of aspects I'm talking about. I will share it with some examples or stories, and the stories are mostly from the scriptures. Because for me, spirituality is about scriptures. The kind of lessons you have there, I don't think you have it anywhere. And it's just not about me or some other spiritual speaker. Maybe it's IIT or IIM or CAs or doctors, anybody. They are having these sessions where they talk about spiritual scriptures, the lessons we get from them. Whether it's Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana, Hanumanji, Sri Ram, anybody. And you get lessons from leadership, for success, for relationships, for social relationships, for management. You get all kind of lessons from them. So my examples are mostly from scriptures. So here I would give one example from Mahabharata. I think this is the most amazing scripture. You get everything here, everything. Every character teaches you something if you read properly, if you understand properly, or if you observe properly. Every character teaches you something. और हर किसी को इतनी सी भी गलती हुई है तो उसकी जाके सजा मिली है, इतना सा भी अच्छा हुआ है तो उसका जाके फल मिला है. So whatever you do, you will get the results. Understand this. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe 1 year back, you will get the results. This is for sure. ये बात हमेशा याद रखिएगा, जो हम गीता भी कहती है कि जैसा कर्म करते हैं वैसा फल पाते हैं. तो वो मिलेगा. किसी को लेट हो सकता है, किसी को 1 अटेम्प्ट में, किसी को 2, किसी को 3, 4, 5, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, पर फल पक्का है. ये एक फैक्ट है, ये कभी झुटला नहीं सकते हम. So there is this story, I think you guys know, that the Pandavas lost the game of the dice and they were given Vanvas, the exile, and 1 year extra Agyatavas. Agyatavas is what? I'm so happy you guys know this. Yes, you cannot be identified. You have to be in disguise. First thing, the Pandavas were the prince, Rajkumars. Now, हमेशा luxury में रहे. Servants and everybody is working around them. So, it's very tough for them to find things in the jungle. Second, they cannot be identified. They are Rajkumars, famous. It's very difficult for them to, it's very difficult for them कि वो छुप सके कहीं पर. बट फिर भी उस वक्त उन्होंने ये नहीं सोचा कि दिस इज नॉट माई कप ऑफ टी. हमने तो कभी ये किया नहीं. इतना तो जंगल में रह रहे हैं, अब ये अज्ञातवास का एक्स्ट्रा कैसे करें. डू यू नो उन्होंने क्या किया? देयर वॉज दिस किंग नेम्ड विराट. दे गॉट शेल्टर अंडर हिज राज्य. And everybody, especially the Prince Arjun, the great prince, he disguised himself as a transgender. And he was teaching dance to the princess. Yudhishthir, the one who lost the dice of game himself, was teaching that game to the king. Bhim, the one जिसके पास numerous cooks रहते हैं. He is a foodie. He loves to eat. और उसके पास न्यूमरस कुक्स रहते हैं, उसके लिए कभी ये बना दे वो बना दे. He was cook himself. He was making food for everybody in the राज्य. Draupadi, the queen, she was a dasi. मतलब they were doing things exactly opposite of their behavior. Why? Flexibility. They were doing it because they had no other option. When you have this feeling that I don't have any option, आपने जब स्टार्ट किया था सीए, तब आपको पता था ना कि अटेम्प्ट ज्यादा लगते हैं. पता था कि सभी को पता रहता है, राइट? बट वे लाइक देख लेंगे. पर जब वो सामने आया तब अब हम ऑप्शन बी ढूंढ रहे हैं. बहुत अटेम्प्ट्स हो गए, अब कुछ और भी साइड में देखते रहते हैं. नो, I don't have any option. I want this and I want this only. तो आप रास्ता अपने आप निकालेंगे. जितनी मेहनत कभी नहीं की उतनी अब करेंगे. क्योंकि यू नो कई लोग कहते हैं आई हैवंट वर्क दिस मच यार इन माई होल लाइफ. इट्स ओके, नाउ यू वर्क. जो पहले नहीं किया जरूरी नहीं कभी नहीं करेंगे. कभी ना कभी तो कुछ ऐसा करना पड़ेगा जो कभी नहीं किया, तभी आपका नाम होगा. एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी इंसान तभी बनता है जब वो एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी मेहनत करता है. ऑर्डिनरी मेहनत के साथ आप ऑर्डिनरी बन सकते हैं. सीएस की मेहनत तो ऐसे ही एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी है. सीरियसली, यू नो, इन माई फैमिली आई हैव सीन लॉट ऑफ देम आर सीएस. आई हैव सीन देम स्टडिंग. सो आपकी मेहनत तो ऑलरेडी एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी है, बट वो एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी को यहां फील करना है. You don't have to take it as stress. My God, this is extraordinary because I am extraordinary. I am not normal. आपने स्टार्टिंग में भी कहा ना, CAs can do anything. सर ने जैसा कहा, CAs are extraordinary. They can do anything. Why? Because the kind of work you do, the hard work you do is amazing. But you have to feel that. And उसको एक लिमिट में लाके बंद नहीं करना है. You have to continuously work for that. That what Pandavas did. And that is the reason they completed their exile. So you have to understand when you're working hard for something and as well as following the spiritual path, you have to be flexible. You cannot be rigid. Next is self-awareness. I think this word is similar to auditing. I think that we are ready to judge other people, to find faults or good things in other people, but nobody knows about themselves. खुद की क्या strength है, खुद की क्या weakness है, खुद से क्या हो सकता है, खुद से क्या नहीं हो सकता है. You have to know about these things. And for that, you have to have that me time. And you know, this is unfortunate that by the me time, many of them realize that me time is the entertainment time. Me and Netflix. Me and Prime Video. Me and web series. Or me and movies. I'll just watch it alone. No. Me time is when you're talking with yourself. I always say this, nobody knows you better than you. Not even me. I am here talking about things. उसके बाद भी जो actual problem है आपकी, वो सिर्फ आपको पता है. I am talking about my experiences. You know your experiences. So self-awareness is about self-study, self-knowing, self-auditing. Everything is about the self. And if you know yourself, you know everybody. ये सच्ची, बहुत सच्ची बात है कि हम सबको जानते हैं पर हम खुद को. तो आपके रोज के 5 से 10 मिनट सिर्फ खुद के लिए होने चाहिए. खुद से बात करो. आज के दिन में क्या करना है, क्या रूटीन बनाना है, क्या पढ़ना है, कैसे पढ़ना है, मैं क्या गलत कर रहा हूं. हर चीज आपसे होनी चाहिए. दैट इज सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. एंड देन यू विल बी अवेयर इन ऑल सिचुएशंस. Whatever you're doing, whether you're studying, whether you're learning, whether you're in front of your teachers, whether you're in front of your mentors, you'll be aware. क्योंकि आप खुद के बारे में रोज पढ़ रहे हैं. I think everybody, you guys have heard about चाणक्य. तो चाणक्य की एक नीति है, अबाउट लर्निंग, कि आप जब खुद के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं, इट इज कॉल्ड अनविक्षिकी. इट्स अबाउट थिंकिंग, अबाउट सेल्फ स्टडी. ही चैंट्स दिस स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च. स्वाध्याय यानी सेल्फ स्टडी इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्टडी. चाहे फेलियर्स हो, रिजेक्शंस हो, ऑब्स्टिकल्स हो, उस वक्त भी उससे क्या सीखना है. द साइंस ऑफ थिंकिंग इज कॉल्ड अनविक्षिकी, गिवन बाय चाणक्य नीति. तो उन्होंने 3 तरीके की थिंकिंग बताई है whenever you're facing some kind of failure. Number 1 is reasoning. By reason I don't mean you will say कि fail हो गया, this is the reason I'm sad. नहीं, क्यों हुआ, इसके पीछे क्या रीजन है, कहां गलत गए, क्या नहीं किया या क्या गलत किया. So whenever you are in a situation where you don't know what to do, or maybe you are sad, find the reason. Just crying for the situation is not the solution. वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपको क्या देगा, एक हेडेक, राइट? उससे ज्यादा you'll get something? No. तो रोना सिचुएशन के बारे में बिना सॉल्यूशन के, that's going to give you a headache. That's it. So find the solution. You want to cry, you can cry for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, not more than that. There's a study called कि आपको अगर नेगेटिव होना है, the time period is 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Not more than that. 5-10 minutes में you can be, अरे मुझसे नहीं होगा, ये नहीं हुआ हो, time over. Now back to solutions. Now I cannot sit and think कि मुझसे नहीं होगा, मुझसे ही होगा जो होना है, और किसी से नहीं होगा. तो ये थिंकिंग आपको बताएगा कि आपके पावर्स क्या है, कि ये गलत हुआ तो इसका सल्यूशन क्या है, मैं इसका सल्यूशन करने लायक हूं, जरूर हूं. देयर इज अ स्टोरी ऑफ लॉर्ड हनुमान that because of some situation, some wrong thing, he got this curse that he will forget his powers, right? You guys know that? And after some time, Jamwant ji told him about his powers. You are your own Jamwant. Nobody is going to come you and say this is your power and you can do this and you can do that. You are your own Jamwant. You have to make yourself realize that I can do anything. What is this curse? In your life, that situation is failure, or maybe some obstacle, or maybe some wrong situation. So that time you have to make yourself remember that I am not weak. I am way too strong than this situation. So that thinking is going to tell you that. जब आप सिचुएशन के बारे में बैठकर सोचेंगे तभी तो सोल्यूशन निकलेगा कि हाँ, And the best thing is you can write it down. You'll make 2 columns. This is under my control, things I can control. This side, the things I cannot control. So there is no use of crying over that. Right? Gita says, कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन, कि आप कर्म कर सकते हैं, फल की चिंता, क्योंकि फल आपके हाथ में नहीं है. तो जो चीजें कंट्रोल में ही नहीं है उसके बारे में बात करके कुछ होना है. जो चीजें कंट्रोल में है, वर्क ऑन दैट. So first is reasoning. Second is strategic. Now you know the reason, make a strategy. कि हाँ ये गलत हुआ. Now I have to work accordingly. I don't have to repeat that mistake. It's okay to repeat mistake. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to repeat that mistake. क्योंकि इसका मतलब पहले मिस्टेक से आपने कुछ नहीं सीखा. तो जब रीजनिंग हो रहा है, रीजनिंग में यू हैव टू फाइंड द रीजन. व्हाई डिड यू डू दैट? व्हेन यू नो द रीजन, यू शुडंट मेक दैट मिस्टेक अगेन. So you have to make a strategy so that you don't make that mistake again. So that is strategic thinking. Third is critical, the toughest one, I think. Now you have to find your own faults. Nobody wants that, huh? गलतियों में सब दूसरों को बता सकते हैं, you're wrong here, you're wrong here, you did wrong. पर जब खुद की गलती आती है, the blame game starts. Maybe it's for the family, friends, family function, paper अच्छा नहीं. We start that blame game. I always say this, कि जिम्मेदारी आपकी है, क्योंकि जिंदगी किसी को फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला. If you'll say it's because of him, it's because of her, it's because of the situation, क्या होगा उससे? कोई solution निकलेगा? No. The responsibility is ours. कि wrong हुआ, I am wrong. I have to correct that. So, but for that, you have to sit every day to understand where you're going wrong. What are the habits you have to amend? You have to correct. So that is critical thinking. And you have to do this every day. We have affirmations for every day. Get up and say things which are really good. I am the best. I am a CA. I'll pass my exam. Similarly, you have to do this exercise every day. Where am I going wrong? Maybe the affirmations, this is for morning. The critical thinking should be in the night. सोने से पहले कि पूरा दिन में क्या क्या गलती की, वो कल नहीं दोहराएंगे. So this Anvikshiki is called the science of thinking. Just these 3 steps and they'll do wonders. But not for just one day. Spirituality is about patience. You have to make it a habit. जिस दिन आप ये चीजें हैबिट से करने लगे, आई वुड से आप स्पिरिचुअल बन चुके हैं. You don't have to make yourself remember, oh my God, अलार्म है, आज क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग करनी है, रीजनिंग थिंकिंग करनी है. नो. जिस दिन आप उसको हैबिट से करने लगे, यू आर स्पिरिचुअल. सो यू हैव टू वेट फॉर दैट डे. और उस दिन आप देखेंगे, नो मैटर व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वायरस यू हैव अराउंड योरसेल्फ, you are strong because the spiritual immune is strong. So these 3 steps are gonna help you. Last is create a vision. That is your vision. Nobody understands your vision more than you do. When I started my work, I think everybody out there, they were saying, this is not going to happen. It's not possible, especially being a girl, going so many places. Why are doing this? Which studies? वो balance कैसे करेगी? ये होगा, वो होगा, वो होगा, वो होगा. But I had a vision. This is that place. I want to go there. No matter what the people say, family says, society says, relative says, relative ऐसे है ना, स्पेशली कि अटेम्प्ट्स आए कोई और पूछे न पूछे, जो कभी फोन नहीं किए होंगे वो भी फोन करते हैं. क्लियर हुआ? राइट? बट इफ यू हैव दैट विजन, नो मैटर वॉट, यू विल ऑलवेज स्टैंड अप अगेन. कितने बार भी गिरो, यू विल ऑलवेज स्टैंड अप कि नो, आई हैव टू डू इट अगेन, आई हैव टू गिव दैट अटेम्प्ट अगेन. तो अगर विजन आपके दिमाग में कि आपको करना क्या है, दिस फेमस स्टोरी अबाउट अर्जुन एंड द पैरेट आई. यू नो दिस? वेरी फेमस. विजन क्या था? ऑल द पांडवास वर देयर. द्रोणाचार्य, one by one he calls Yudhishthir, and Kauravas were there too. And everybody was asked, what do you see? That you have to aim to that eye. So he called Bhim. क्या दिख रहा है? क्या दिखा? भीम को क्या दिखा? फल. You see what you want. He wanted fruits. He was foodie. तो उसका भी विजन सही था. उसे वो दिख रहा था जो उसे चाहिए था. तो आप भी, ये भी एक थिंकिंग है कि आपको क्या दिख रहा है. अगर आपको हर वक्त फेलियर फेलियर दिख रहा है तो क्या आपको यही चाहिए? आपको जो चाहिए आपको वही दिखना चाहिए. तो भीम को दिखा फ्रूट. युधिष्ठिर वाज, आई कैन सी द पैरेट. इट्स लाइक नो, गो. सबको एक एक करके बुलाया. somebody saying, I can see the tree, I can see the leaves, I can see the branch, I can see the tree and the parrot sitting. Then came Arjun. What do you see? Please say. You all are Arjuns here. Eye of the parrot. Again he asked. And what do you see more? वो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे. you are the Arjun, no? You have to answer. More? Just the? Arey, there are branches, leaves. Your guru is standing here. Your brothers are standing here. What do you see? Just the eye. Then aim. So आपको भी सिर्फ वो डिग्री दिखनी चाहिए. कितने अटेम्प्ट्स हुए, क्या हुआ, कैसे करोगे? बोले आई डोंट नो, आई कैन सी द डिग्री. फेलियर्स दिख रहे हैं? नहीं दिख रहे. एक्स्ट्रा अटेम्प्ट्स दिख रहे हैं? नहीं दिख रहे. रिलेटिव्स दिख रहे हैं? नहीं दिख रहे. फैमिली प्रेशर दिख रहा है? नहीं दिख रहा. दिख क्या रहा है? कि आप वो डिग्री ले रहे हैं. और उसके साथ व्हाट आई फील, व्हाट आई बिलीव, बिकॉज स्पिरिचुअलिटी इज जस्ट नॉट अबाउट योरसेल्फ. व्हेन यू आर स्पिरिचुअल, योर विजन इज ब्रॉडर. इट्स नॉट अबाउट जस्ट योरसेल्फ. तो जब आपको वो डिग्री दिख रही है, आपको सामने बैठे आपके पेरेंट्स दिख रहे हैं, जिनको एक इनविजिबल डिग्री मिल रही है. जिस दिन आप सीए बनेंगे, आप अकेले नहीं बनेंगे. उस दिन वो भी आपके साथ सीए बनेंगे. रिमेंबर दैट. आप फिजिकली वर्क कर रहे हैं, वो यहां से रोज वर्क कर रहे हैं. आई नो फैमिली समटाइम्स they can be a bit pressurizing, but that is because they care about you. I'm saying about family, your parents, not or koi. The kind of feeling they have for you, nobody else can have. And what I believe, कि उस दिन जो स्माइल उनके चेहरे पर आएगी, और कोई डिग्री वो स्माइल नहीं ला सकती. कहीं से भी आप लेकर नहीं आ सकते. So your vision should always be about that degree, about the parrot's eye. तो remember कि आपका विजन यही होना चाहिए. First is your degree. Second is after that degree आप क्या करोगे? For your parents, for your society. Because what I feel, जैसा मैंने starting में भी कहा, कि you guys are spiritual. Why? I don't want to go in like further way, but just a small thing. The doctors, if they have to work properly, they need patience. By patience, I mean they want people to get sick. Only then they can work, no? सब ठीक रहेंगे तो कैसे काम करेंगे? So for that, they want people to get, the lawyers, They want people to get in trouble. Only then they can work. But the CAs, you can work only if the client is prospering, if the client is earning, if the client is successful. Only then you can earn properly. So your success from others' success. This is the biggest thing about spirituality. कि आप अपने सक्सेस के साथ दूसरों को भी सक्सेसफुल कर रहे हैं. यू आर मेकिंग अ डिफरेंस इन एवरीबॉडीज लाइफ. तो आपका सक्सेस तो किसी और के सक्सेस से जुड़ा है. सबसे बड़ी चीज है ये. इमेजिन कितना बड़ा काम करने जा रहे हैं. आपके दिमाग में हमेशा रहेगा मेरा क्लाइंट और आगे बढ़ना चाहिए, और काम करना चाहिए, और अच्छा करना चाहिए, और सक्सेसफुल होना चाहिए. तो आप तो ऑल टाइम पॉजिटिव है. यू आर नेवर नेगेटिव कि नहीं इसका गलत क्यों नहीं हो रहा. तभी तो मेरा आपका काम तो तभी होगा जब सामने वाला अच्छा करेगा. तो ये तो सबसे पहला स्टेप है स्पिरिचुअलिटी का, दैट यू हैव टू मेक अ डिफरेंस. सो योर विजन शुड ऑलवेज हैव दिस कि आई हैव टू मेक अ difference as soon as I get my degree. Maybe it's for my parents, for the society, for the country. I think आप लोग भी जानते कि आपके सिग्नेचर से बड़ा किसका सिग्नेचर है ना? You guys know that, right? So your vision should be there always in front of you, and I can see a small exercise for that. Maybe you guys can practice. When you're working for your degree, just do one thing. As you guys ready today, click a picture, a good picture with formals, the way you want to be when you get that degree. So get a picture, nice picture with formal dress and everything, good specs, or maybe if you don't have specs, good hair done, makeup done, everything. Print that picture with your name written below. Add it CA. And upper you should have that emblem of CA, you know, the logo. Keep that picture with you when you're studying, when you're struggling, when you're giving the attempts, always in your pocket or in your wallet or something, and keep looking at that picture. That is your vision, you know. You shouldn't forget it. Because sometimes when you're facing failures, we forget कि हमने शुरू क्यों किया था. हम दूसरे options ढूंढने लगते हैं. क्यों? Because we forget that. So when you see that picture, you will remember, why did I start? Because I knew that I will have these situations, these obstacles, failures and attempts, and people asking me कब हुआ, कब हुआ, कब होगा, कब होगा. I knew that. मुझे सब पता था. पर फिर भी हम थोड़ा भटक जाते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि वो रेगुलर ऑडिटिंग नहीं हो रही है. तो दैट पिक्चर इज काइंड ऑफ योर ऑडिट program, I would say. Right? So keep looking at that picture, 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 picture. Believe in that picture. Keep working hard, and one day you won't need that picture. Because you look into the mirror and there you are standing. You don't need that name written because it's already written. In your degree, in your papers, everywhere. You don't need that picture anymore. And that would be your audit report, your audit trophy. Aim for that trophy. उसको नजर में रख के काम करो. बाकी सब चीजें आपको अर्जुन की तरह. Remember one thing, this is Kalyug. You are Arjun and you have to be your own Krishna. Nobody is gonna come. I am here just for a day, maybe just for an hour or something. उसके बाद any other speaker, just for some time, for a day. You are your own motivational speaker. You have to motivate yourself every day. You have to remember your work, your hard work, your passion, your vision, your reason of doing this work, your reason of entering this field. If you remember these things, nothing can stop you. So these 4 aspects, keep auditing in regular intervals. Don't miss it. It is the most important thing. One is अभी भूल गया. Flexibility. First is Flexibility, that I cannot be rigid. I have to work continuously. And I have to find solutions. ये नहीं तो ये रास्ता, वो नहीं तो वो रास्ता, ये ट्यूशन नहीं तो वो ट्यूशन नहीं तो ये वाले सर के पास चलते हैं, है ना? So you can't stop कि यहाँ कर लिया, यहाँ तो नहीं है, वहाँ क्या होगा? कहीं भी कुछ भी हो सकता है ना? So first is flexibility. Second is self-awareness, knowing about yourself, the kind of strengths you have, the kind of weaknesses you have, where you're going wrong, where you're going right. ये भी जरूरी है. You know, wrong पहचान जाते, right नहीं पहचान पाते. For example, एग्जाम में right answer टिक करके फिर and then जब discussion होता है like मैंने तो right ही टिक किया था. Why? Because sometimes we don't see that we're doing good. हम सही path पे चल रहे हैं. But we don't have patience. Patience अगर है, because remember one thing, जैसा मैंने कहा, spirituality, scriptures, हर चीज normal life में भी एक meaning रखती है. हम कहते हैं, you must have heard your parents saying this, भगवान के घर में देर है. What do you mean by this? भगवान is maybe your goal. देर है, अंधेर नहीं. Because when you're working correctly in a path, you don't get the success in short time. That is shortcut success. जब आप shortcut success अपनाते हैं, that success is for short span of period. Very short. But when you want it to be long, forever, then you have to wait. It will take time. You can see anybody. कोई भी successful आदमी को देखो, he or she will always have some period कि इस time मैंने बहुत struggle किया, मैंने बहुत काम किया, मैंने बहुत पढ़ाई की, मैंने बहुत कुछ देखा, तब जाके अगर वो उस वक्त हार मान जाता, the names that boy took, राकेश झुंझुनवाला or anybody, you know, वो आज position पे क्यों हैं? क्योंकि उन्होंने हार नहीं मानी. No matter what kind of situations they faced, they were working. This is the mantra of success, the mantra of spirituality. When we talk about the divine, what is devotion? No matter what kind of situation you have, you don't forget to pray to God. You don't forget that vishwas, that belief on God. Exactly the same this side. No matter what kind of failures you face, no matter what how many number of attempts you give, you don't stop believing in yourself. I will do this. 1, 2, 3 हो सकता है आपके पास वाला हो गया, कोई बात नहीं. मैं उसके बाद, सबकी अपनी अपनी जर्नी है, राइट? प्रेसिडेंट बनने की एज डोनाल्ड ट्रंप और बराक ओबामा दोनों की बहुत अलग थी. एक 50s में, एक 70s में, राइट? बट क्या उनको नाम अलग मिले? दोनों जब पोजीशन पे थे तो उनको क्या बुलाया जाता था? It's not about the number of attempts or the number of years or the number of time you have. No. The day you get your degree, आप सीए हो. किसी को कोई लेना देना नहीं है कितना किया, क्या किया. आप सीए हैं. आपने मेहनत की. और आपने तो आई थिंक ज्यादा मेहनत की फिर. ना एक ही चीज को आपको बार बार करना पड़ रहा है, नए नए सोल्यूशन ढूंढने पड़ रहे हैं, तो आपने तो और ज्यादा मेहनत की है, तो आपका सक्सेस तो और ज्यादा होगा. जितनी मेहनत करते हैं उतना फल. ये दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी सच्चाई है. मेहनत कभी भी जाया नहीं जाती. जिस विश्वास से अभी आप सर हिला रहे, वो विश्वास उस वक्त भी होना चाहिए जब फेलियर सामने आए. उस वक्त आप हार नहीं मान सकते. Because remember one thing, जैसा मैंने कहा, nobody knows you better than you have worked hard, no? आपने पढ़ाई की है. I don't think anybody else knows this. Nobody is studying with you. So nobody is gonna know the effort you have given. So you know that. My father always used to say me, कि कोई भी चाहे competition हो, work, I don't care whether you come first or second or third or nothing. I should just see your मेहनत. You are the winner for me. If I can see that you have given your 100%, because he knew maybe after some time I will get my trophy. Not from this competition, maybe from other competition or maybe the competition of life. You will get the trophy, you will get the degree, maybe not now, maybe after some time, maybe after some months, but you will get it when you're giving your 100%. So remember this. So this is self-awareness. Third is learning. Learn from your mistakes. Whatever you're doing, your mistakes, your good things, good situations, bad situations, failures, everything, learn from these things. I always say this, God never had this concept of winning or losing about life. It was always about learning. Just keep learning. तो हर situation से you are learning. There you have that method of Chanakya Niti, Anvikshiki, the science of thinking, that is reasoning, strategic and critical. These three ways you can think properly about the situation, and the last is your vision. Your photo, your degree, your name, and the day जब ये पूरा हो जाएगा. So सिर्फ ये simple 4 steps भी आप follow करते हैं, आप spiritual path की ओर है. But the second word, remember, auditing regular intervals. And in the end, I would just conclude by saying that you guys have fought for this name, chartered. Indians weren't called this, they got registered accountants, right? You guys have fought for this name. तो आपकी तो शुरुआत ही लड़ाई से हुई है. तो आप कैसे ही हार मान सकते हैं? तो जिसने इस नाम के लिए इतना लड़ा है, वो इस डिग्री के लिए कैसे नहीं लड़ेगा? So fight for it, but with a spiritual mind. When you're fighting with spiritual mind, no matter what the situation is, it won't affect here. Because remember one thing, if this is not messy, no matter how much mess you have around you, it won't affect you. तो आपका लास्ट गोल यही होना चाहिए कि ये साफ होना चाहिए. कोई भी चीज यहां नहीं चढ़नी चाहिए. आप मुझे कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, कर सकते हो, पर आप मुझे हर्ट नहीं कर सकते, because I'm way too strong. And remember, this is the most powerful feeling. You have seen people when other people are scolding or doing anything or saying wrong thing, they're smiling. They don't care. Why? Because you're strong here. No matter what the situation is, you will always smile. So this is spiritual auditing for you. I hope you guys practice this, because that is what is needed. So remember these 4 aspects, regular auditing, and I think you will pass with flying numbers. All the very best. Thank you.